Behind Marquez's big name, there is a side that is now starting to receive serious attention in the MotoGP world. It's not about bike performance, nor about rivals on the track, but something much deeper: the rider's mental condition and overall well-being. Recently, discussions about the possibility of Marquez retiring have been growing louder. This speculation has even caught the attention of MotoGP legend Dani Pedrosa, who has spoken out about the situation of his former teammate. Pedrosa stated that every rider has their own cycle. There are periods when everything feels easy, but there are also phases when everything becomes extremely difficult. Is Marquez at the end of his peak cycle? Let's discuss. MotoGP is often seen as a sport that relies purely on speed and technical ability. However, in reality, there is another factor that often goes unnoticed: a rider's mentality. And in this case, the spotlight is on one of the biggest names of the modern era, Marc Marquez. In recent times, Marquez's performance has been inconsistent. A few minor mistakes, inconsistent results, and difficult moments on track have started to raise big questions among the public. What is really going on? Dani Pedrosa, who has extensive experience and a deep understanding of the MotoGP world, offered an interesting perspective on the situation. According to him, every professional rider will go through different phases in their career journey, both enjoyable and challenging. He explained that there are times when everything seems to work perfectly. During those periods, riders can perform with confidence. The bike suits their riding style, and positive results come consistently. On the other hand, there are also phases when pressure increases, performance declines, and everything feels harder to control. According to Pedrosa, this kind of situation is neither unusual nor extraordinary in racing. In fact, it is part of a natural cycle that almost every rider experiences, even those considered legends. In that context, Pedrosa believes that what Marc Marquez is currently going through could simply be part of that process. A challenging phase, but still a normal one in the long journey of a professional rider at the highest level of MotoGP. What's even more interesting from Pedrosa's statement is the impact of injuries on a rider's psychological condition. He pointed out that after experiencing a major crash or serious injury, a rider may develop subconscious fear. Even if they have physically recovered, the mental aspect does not always heal at the same pace. As a result, while they may still appear aggressive and competitive on the outside, there could be small doubts within, and at the MotoGP level, even the slightest doubt can have a significant impact, from decisions when entering corners to overtaking maneuvers to determining the limits of the bike. Given Marc Marquez's long history of serious injuries over the past few years, it is understandable that speculation has emerged regarding the condition he is currently facing. The repeated injuries that once affected his performance have not only had a physical impact, but have also left their own challenges in the overall recovery process. Physically, an athlete like Marquez may have regained the strength and ability to compete at the highest level. However, the mental aspect often takes much longer to fully recover, especially after going through a series of pressures, pain, and uncertainty in a career. Even so, this situation does not automatically signal the end of Marquez's journey in MotoGP. In fact, conditions like this often become a crucial phase that determines how a champion rises again, adapts, and rediscovers their best performance on the track. Throughout the long history of MotoGP, many great riders have gone through difficult periods like this. These challenging phases often become turning points that reshape their character, mentality, and performance on the track. In fact, some have made remarkable comebacks and returned stronger and more competitive than ever, proving that tough times are not the end of the road. Marc Marquez himself is known as a rider with a steel mentality, full of determination and an exceptional fighting spirit. He is not the type of athlete who gives up easily when faced with pressure or limitations. On the contrary, it is in moments like these that his true resilience often emerges. If he can navigate this phase successfully, it is entirely possible that the MotoGP world will once again witness the best version of Marc Marquez, more mature, stronger, and even more dangerous on the track than before. Beyond the issues surrounding Marc Marquez, the MotoGP paddock is also closely watching the career development of young Italian rider Nicolo Blega, who is currently at a critical crossroads. Blega now faces two major opportunities, both promising yet challenging: joining Ducati or considering a move with Aprilia. Each manufacturer offers different characteristics and prospects, making his decision crucial in shaping his future at the highest level of motorcycle racing. On one hand, Ducati has been one of the dominant forces in MotoGP over recent seasons, with a highly competitive bike and a solid team structure. However, this strength also comes with intense internal competition. With many top-tier riders occupying limited seats, breaking into the main team is far from easy. As a result, if Blega wants to break into the Ducati pathway, he must deliver truly exceptional performances. It's not enough to simply be consistent or competitive. He needs to stand out and prove he belongs among the elite riders. In this situation, every race result, every point scored, and every opportunity seized will play a decisive role in opening the door to the highest level of his career. Meanwhile, Aprilia offers a different path. The team is known for being more willing to give opportunities to young riders. This could be a golden chance for Blega to enter MotoGP more quickly and prove his abilities. However, the risks are also significant. Compared to Ducati, Aprilia is still in a development phase and lacks the same level of performance consistency. This makes Belega's decision extremely critical. It's not just about choosing a team, it's about determining the long-term direction of his MotoGP career. The choice he makes now could define whether he becomes a future star or struggles within a highly competitive environment. One thing is certain: Nicolo Belega's name is gaining increasing recognition on the international motorcycle racing stage. He is no longer just a young rider with potential, but has evolved into a competitor capable of demonstrating consistent performance and maturity in every outing. This progress has put him on the radar of top MotoGP teams, which are known for being highly selective in choosing talent. Interest from these manufacturers has not come overnight, but is the result of hard work, technical development, and his ability to adapt to various racing conditions. Both Marc Marquez and Nicolo Blega are currently at crucial stages in their journeys in MotoGP. One is battling mental pressure and the shadows of past injuries, while the other is facing a major decision that could shape his future. MotoGP is not just about speed on the track, it's also about mental resilience, the ability to make split-second decisions, and the courage to take risks in the most decisive moments. Behind every maneuver and strategy lies immense pressure that riders must handle, making this sport more than just racing. It's a complex combination of skill, instinct, and high-level psychological endurance. In your opinion, is Marc Marquez really approaching the end of his career, or is this just a temporary difficult phase? And can he return to his peak performance like before? Share your thoughts below.